Star getting ready to leave the Raiders. Player can be changed and already has two possible destinations. He's getting older and doesn't hide his desire to play with a team that can get a place in the playoffs, and this has been difficult for the Raiders in recent years, which means this player could leave us. Subscribe to the channel and leave a like if you're really rooting for the Raiders to reach the playoffs. The Las Vegas Raiders haven't proven themselves to be sellers on the trade market this offseason, but that could always change once the regular season begins. The team finished 8-9 last season and should feel good about improving its record in 2024. However, if the season goes wrong, the Raiders could consider selling key assets. Brian DeArdo went so far as to predict that the team would trade wide receiver Davante Adams before the trade deadline. My guess is that Adams won't be a Raider when this year's trade deadline passes, DeArdo wrote in a June 6 column. After all, Adams is still a high-level player who can make a difference for a team heading to the playoffs. In fact, if Adams is indeed traded, two possible destinations could be the Packers, his former team, or the Jets, who employ Aaron Rodgers, his former quarterback in Green Bay. Rest assured the Raiders will be handsomely rewarded if they trade Adams. Adams and the Raiders have had to continually dispel trade rumors, but that hasn't led to less speculation that the wide receiver could be moved. The wide receiver is 31 years old, and the Raiders have a young squad. There may come a point where he wants to be transferred, but that is unlikely at the moment. The only reason the Raiders would trade Adams is if they don't think they can compete for a playoff spot in the upcoming seasons. He is getting older and his value in a trade will likely decrease. If Las Vegas gets off to a rough start in 2024, they may finally start considering moving on from Adams. However, the Raiders have the 24th toughest schedule in the NFL this season, according to Sharp Football Analysis. This season shouldn't be too difficult for Las Vegas, meaning they could have a solid record by November 5th. Now, it's also possible that a team could make the Raiders an offer they can't refuse for Adams. His cap hit jumps to $44.1 million in 2025, so the team may prefer to add some assets rather than commit that kind of money to an aging wide receiver.